Question more on kind of practical terms, because I agree fully with everything that's been said so far. I arrived a bit late, but I imagine what was said previously too. But I have a problem within the consultancy when you confront a patient, because basically we're talking more than evidence, we're talking about an ideology here over the kind of the capitalist, neoliberalist, productivist idea of the body and its way to relate to illness, no, and death. So what do you do when the patient you've got in front of you is 80 and demands a statin, or has a syndrome of, what do you call it, síndrome de sensibilidad central?
Yes.
Yes, central nervous and hypersensitive, whatever. Because, like, just to pose this example, I was in a meeting with people diagnosed with this syndrome, and they were demanding to be derivados, to be kind of referred to these chiringuitos de los centros de experteza clínica. Es que soy inglesa, pero esto... Well, they're basically kind of little stands set up by pharmaceutical industries that use them to kind of put professionals selling and prescribing their drugs with very often not much evidence. And these people were demanding that more of these clinics were set up of experteza clínica for them to be referred to and for their diseases to be treated seriously. So what do you do as a generalist practitioner when this ideology is so embedded into people's imaginaries that their way of relating to their own body and their own illnesses is that neoliberalist, capitalist, productivist idea of their own body, because you're meant to accompany them. So how do you fight that when it's in them?
It's not easy, but you don't fight them. And I have never met an 80-year-old who demanded a statin. I think old people are much more realist than we give them credit for. They've usually been told by some idiot in a hospital that they must have a statin or they will die tomorrow. I mean, you know, and I think it's worth going out. In that situation with an old person, I think it's relatively easy, because if you talk to them, they're not interested in living to 105. They are interested in being just able to go and see their grandchild or their great-grandchild or do the shopping or whatever. So that's an easy problem. The fibromyalgias of this world are more difficult, but I think we get into that sort of confrontation when we haven't listened enough. Because usually it's not about the fibromyalgia, it's not about that pain. It's about something else that has happened that we haven't got to. It's where we... This thing that I write about sometimes, that medicine, particularly family medicine, needs to stand on two legs. And we stand on the biological leg. That's fine. The biological leg gives us these labels like fibromyalgia, which actually get you almost nowhere. The other leg is the biographical leg, and that is the leg we neglect. We have underestimated the power of biography to alter biology. So if we don't know enough about the biography of this particular individual, we will not understand why their biology is malfunctioning, how physiology can be scarred by biological trauma. Not just mental illness, physical illness, scarred by. So it's where our listening capacity comes in, and then beyond that, because listening doesn't make the pain go away, but it helps to explain why the pain is there, and you can turn someone from being a sufferer into being a survivor. So a sort of weak sufferer from something is completely different from a heroic survivor of something that has made them have a pain. Yeah? Am I making sense?